Okay, what we have here is a 2003 Ford Explorer XLT all-wheel drive. Just gave her a bath. She's nice and clean. I've had this car for about 7 years now, and I noticed that for a long time I've had issues with the wet carpet on the passenger front seat. And down here in the south in Georgia, it gets really hot and it will get all musty and nasty, and I could not figure out where the water was coming from. So I decided to do some research on YouTube, found a few videos, and nothing really was leading me to what the problem was. This one does have a sunroof, so I watched some videos and I learned a few things. The first thing I did was, underneath the car above the transmission, I blew the drain for the AC, and the problem continued. So to make a video short, I'm not going to show you how to fix it. I'm going to tell you what was wrong with this one that is probably wrong with yours. I also watched some videos on other vehicles that have the drains right here for the rain and all that. You have to remove this, you have to remove the wiper and all that. But I actually pour water in here on both sides, and it was actually draining fine, and it comes right out right over here. So I knew that wasn't the problem. So I came over here, and like I said, I'm just gonna just kind of mention what I did. Of course, this is still kind of damp because I just fixed it the other day. I took this off. You just pop it off, and I took this little panel here. It just pops right out, and the sunroof actually has, and it's not open, but in this corner, if you slide it out, there's two little holes about this big, which is a drain, and there's a line that runs through the A post and it goes down, and that is your drain for your sunroof. And there's actually two. There's one here and one on the driver's side on the front, not the back. So one of the things you can do is, and there's a video on YouTube, you actually pour water in there, and if it puddles, then you clog is right here. Mine, I put water in there. You need a small amount, and it drained fine, but it came to find out that the water was actually puddling right over here underneath there. There's just a lot of wires going through here and all that, and the water wasn't going anywhere. So I got an air gun and I blew all that out, and I couldn't figure it out where it was supposed to go. So then I saw this thing right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little plastic little rubber thing, and it's got a hole in it. So I was like, that looks like a drain. But when I pour water in the sunroof, no water will come out of here. So I just got the air gun and I blew air through the line, and I could feel it, but it wasn't really blowing air. So I actually, to fix it, you don't really need any tools other than your patience and a little bit of wiggling around. So if you have a wet floor and you don't know where it's coming from, and you tried other things and nothing worked, your problem's probably gonna be this line right here. I actually popped it out with a flathead screwdriver, and it's got like a little 90 elbow. So I knew that something's supposed to go in there. So what I did next, I wiggled my finger in there, let it focus, but I couldn't feel nothing. So I was like, okay. I was actually able to take this boot off, and all it is just a wiring harness there. So I took this boot off, I peeled it back, or you can take that one off too, or both, and just wiggle it around just to expose this hole right here. When I took that off, of course there's the wiring harness through there. I stuck my fingers in there, and I felt like what it felt like a hose. I was like, okay, so this is not wires. It's about a 1/2 inch, I would say, to 3/4 inch little black hose. So I was able to grab the hose, and I pulled it out of this hole, of course with the boot removed. I pulled it out and I left it out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna test it. So I actually got a little bit of water, not much, and I pour it in the little hole, and I probably should have slide this open, but when you slide yours open, there's a drain right there. It's a little bitty hole. It looks like probably the girth of a paper pencil. So I put a little bit of water there, and sure enough, water was coming out of the hose that I pulled out of here. So to make a long story short, I simply, with a lot of patience, because you really can't use any tools because you got the door right here and it opens only so far, so I grabbed it with 2 fingers, and I was actually able to just kind of grab it and pull it down. And of course this little plug right here was off, and I could see the tip of it, and the tip is actually like bevel cut, almost like at a 45-degree angle. So once I saw the tip, I slide it out. I slid this one into the tip, and I just simply made the connection again, push it all the way in. And I would probably like to demonstrate how I did it, but it's fixed right now and I don't want to do it again. So that's this side, and then once I got it fixed, I pour water again, and it was actually draining like it's supposed to. So all that water that's supposed to come through there was actually puddling right here, and there's like a little channel. It would just fill with water and it would go into your carpet. And once I saw that, I actually came to the driver's side, and it has another drain right here, and it's the same thing. And this one's actually a little harder to work on. It was fine when I fixed the other side. This one never really had an issue leaking, but I noticed that my power windows suddenly stopped working. So this is another tip: if you have power windows and they were all working and then they just stopped, or they felt like they would work and they didn't. So mine actually, this wiring harness, there's a blue wire that had obviously with opening and closing the door, it got cut completely. So I was able to just get some wire cutters, some wire, and just fixed it, and of course it worked again. But while I was trying to put all these wires back together, this boot, actually I knocked the hose off, and it was actually a pain to actually get it back in there. So but eventually I got it and it drained again. So so I had that water leak, I had my power windows not working, and also my power locks. So I actually had 3 wires that were cut right here, and it's very common with these Explorers to have problem right here in your boots. So hopefully this video, I'm not a expert at making videos, but I figured that this video might help somebody out that has the same problem, because I literally just had to find out for myself. So there it is. Hit or dislike this video, either one works. Leave a comment if you like. Thank you.